You can't just raise your fees and charge higher whenever you want. The industry structure determines your pricing. This is the profit margin of various industries from soft drinks to hotels to airlines. To increase profit margin, you have to change the forces in your industry. Most of us just look at our competitors to determine the right pricing. However, your competitors are just one part of the equation. You need to look at your suppliers, your customers, your substitutes, and new entrants as well. These are the 5 forces that determine your industry structure. Number 1, if you have very strong suppliers, then you have low profit margin. For example, the PC and laptop market have low profit margin because their suppliers are powerful. Microsoft supplies the software, which is the operating system, and Intel supplies the hardware, which is the processor chip. Both Microsoft and Intel have close to full monopolies in the industry, so PC makers like HP, Dell, IBM have no choice but to buy from Microsoft and Intel. And their margins are being squeezed by their suppliers. So if you are in this situation, what can you do? You can integrate backwards, which means you become your own supplier. This is what Netflix is doing. Instead of buying all their movies from Hollywood, they make their own movies, such as Squid Game and The Irishman. As such, they can earn the high profits of a movie producer, and they have bargaining power, which is why Netflix recently increased their fees, right? NTUC FairPrice also has the same strategy. You can see that they produce their own products using their in-house brands instead of promoting other brands. For example, if you buy nuts and raisins, you can see there's Camel nuts, there's FairPrice nuts as well. There's even FairPrice potato chips. Number 2, your customers. If your customers have strong bargaining power against you, then your prices have to be low. For example, if you are serving MNC client, they might take up more than 25% of your revenue and you are dependent on them, then you cannot raise your prices. Next, if your product is undifferentiated from your competitors, your customers can play one vendor against another and squeeze your prices. Thirdly, does your product affect your customers' bottom line? If your solution can pay for itself by improving performance, then your customer will be more concerned about quality than pricing. In the digital marketing industry, the quality of the solution is very important because if they hire a good vendor, they'll be easily making much more money than they paid. Hence, it's less about the price than the performance. So what can you do if your customers have strong bargaining power? Take it from the airlines industry. Airline companies have very low profit margin because their products are undifferentiated from other airlines. There's no difference whether you go with airline A or airline B. What Singapore Airlines has done is firstly, they differentiated from other airlines by providing value-added services such as better in-flight entertainment with the latest movies, higher quality food in collaboration with famous chefs, and excellent customer service. They also provide Wi-Fi on almost all the planes now. That way, they differentiate from their competitors and manage to charge premium pricing. Next, they created Scoot Airlines to go for another customer segment. People that don't require the service. This group of people just want a cheap flight to take them from country to country. By taking away the in-flight meals, the luggage allowance, and providing a no-frills transport, Scoot is able to cut down their costs and offer low prices for mass market consumers. Likewise, you can find underserved customer segments in your market and penetrate the market. Scoot won over customers that were previously considering taking trains and buses, and as a result, expanded the whole market. This brings me to the third force in your industry, which is your substitute. A substitute performs the same or similar function as an industry's product by a different means. Video conferencing is a substitute for travel. Plastic is a substitute for aluminium. Email is a substitute for physical mail. When Netflix came out, it affected the movies industry. If we pay $16 per month for unlimited movies, we think twice before paying $16 for a movie ticket. Perhaps what's worse was that Netflix killed off an entire industry of video rental. With movie streaming, we no longer have to rent DVD. A substitute with new technology can be very disruptive. On the other hand, there are industries that can benefit from the new technology. For example, people start to buy more and better TVs at home to stream movies. As a result, TV retail industries saw an increase in demand. New companies like Prism Plus managed to capture the demand and it grew very quickly. So we can pay attention to other industries to find opportunities. For example, Apple went into the music distribution industry by creating the iTunes music library. Before iTunes, record companies sell CDs to consumers. But with internet, people started downloading music illegally online. The record companies were suffering because no one was buying their CDs. The labels tried for years to develop platforms for digital distribution themselves, but major companies hesitated to sell their music through a platform owned by a rival. Into this vacuum stepped Apple with its iTunes. iPod and iTunes changed the whole music industry as a result. This is what happens when you pay attention to substitutes, the third force in the industry. The other two forces in your industry are your competitors and the new entrants. Here's the thing, we tend to focus on our competitors and new entrants all the time, and neglect the first three forces I mentioned, which are your suppliers, your customers, and your substitutes. In fact, it may be a good idea for you to work with your competitors at times to prevent leakage of profits to suppliers, customers, or substitutes. Price war between competitors transfers profits directly from an industry to its customers. It's easy to go into a downward spiral because competitors try to match each other's pricing and go lower and lower. At the same time, you are training customers to buy based on price rather than features. It is very unhealthy for the industry as a whole. If the entire industry is not doing well, it is lose-lose for all the players. So you can find ways to work together. For example, in digital marketing, we focus on paid ads only. So when we have clients asking for web design or SEO services, we refer them to other agencies. This way we share the pie together. We don't have to kill each other because the pie is big enough. For example, Singapore Airlines is part of the Star Alliance network. When you fly with any airline such as Air Canada or Air China, you can earn KrisFlyer miles. You can use these miles to claim free stuff, free air tickets or hotel accommodation and so on. This way, customers are more likely to use your service. To learn more about the 5 competitive forces, you can Google and read the article on Harvard Business Review written by Michael Porter, a renowned business strategist. The whole idea is that you have to always take a helicopter view on your industry and analyze the forces so you can plan the right strategy. Thanks for watching this video. Do like, subscribe and press the bell notification button so that when new videos are released, you will be notified. I'll catch you soon.